In this video, I just want to quickly touch on the subject of filling problematic holes in a mesh using different tools. So let's say, for example, you have a surface object that has a hole in it. I can see it doesn't go all the way through. It's just a hole in the surface. I can use tools like the close hole to just select that area. And it will rather quickly fix that problem. However, we have some circumstances where you may have a hole where you have some thickness. So close hole won't work on this. I've already tried it. And again, it's because it has a little bit of thickness and 3D Coat doesn't really know what to do with this. So we have to give it a little bit of help here. The first thing I want to do is I'll go ahead and hide that and hide the grid so I can see a little bit better. And on this base, I may go with a brighter shader so I can see a little bit easier. Okay. And I need to close some of these other holes that was created accidentally. So let's use the fill tool. And I'll choose a different brush, alpha. And let's turn steady stroke off because I don't need that. The fill tool in voxel mode works very well and it's rather fast. It's not always as predictable and reliable in surface mode. It does work well in many circumstances, but there are times where you may find that it's not as solid and foolproof as the one in voxel mode. Because with voxels, essentially you're just filling volumetric pixels. And what I like to do is brush around the edges of the hole. Let's try to fill here. Just again, brush around the edges. That may not look as good as you want it to because it's just crude and brute force, and it's forcing me to have to go back and resculpt a little bit of this. So let's try another trick. This one is a little bit more involved, but it's still relatively fast. I can use primitives and just merge a primitive here. That's one way of fixing this, but another creative way to approach this is to go to the Retopo workspace and using something like add split or maybe points and faces. We'll just go ahead and use add split for this example. Just click to create your points and finish. Okay, so we have our polygon there. What I want to do now is just select all faces on the layer, or I could go to the select tool with faces and just click it, or if you got multiple faces you could just double click it. But yeah, we'll just select that and then use the shell tool. Just kind of push it in to give it a little bit of thickness. We're all done. So I'm going to go back to the scope workspace, and I have a hotkey for that Retopo mesh to scope mesh to get it quickly into this environment. It immediately brings it in as a surface mode object. If 3D Coat knows that there's an object on this layer, it will just create this new object on a child layer. So with that selected, I can just go ahead and shift drag that onto the parent layer. And now it's basically fused where I can use the fill tool to fill in any small parts here. Okay, so yeah, it's just a quick way to do a cleaner job of fixing these problematic areas. in very short order. Okay. So thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.